I believe that this is the third version of Tell Me Something Good that Ron Himes, the producing director of the Black Rep, has created. The performers and other artists may change, and so may some of the material, but the basic structure stays solidly the same. Tell Me Something Good is an evening of songs, a musical review, not a musical play. With more than 60 numbers, the show has no room for drama unless it's happening within a song. The music begins in the doo-wop era of the 1950s and wends its way through a golden treasury of hits and a few less familiar numbers that deserve to be remembered, all the way to a rap number. Darrell Harris's costumes change with the times and the music, beginning formally, white dinner jackets for the men, white feather boas for the women, a pair of dancers also in white. The four men sing Money Honey, Charlie Brown, Get a Job. The four women sing He's So Fine, Mama Said, This is Dedicated to the One I Love, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, Why Do Fools Fall in Love. As we move from the 50s into the 60s, the dress becomes casual. The women in pedal pushers and striped sweaters, the men in polo shirts, the dancers in full print skirts. The music is C.C. Ryder, Only You, Hallelujah, I Love Her So, Mama Didn't Lie, Rescue Me, St. Louis and Fontella Bass's hit, and a rhythmically intriguing version of Summertime. Charles Kreth is the musical director, leading a five-piece band. A little too loud sometimes for my ears and some voices, but always a pleasure to hear and solid support for the singers. Jeff Anderson flies high on a couple of riffs on the sax, with Dennis Brock on guitar, Jimmy Hines on bass, and Stan Hale a solid anchor on drums. You know how the women will dress when we get into the era of Motown and the Supremes for My Guy, Stop in the Name of Love, Baby Love. Those songs and those moves are almost camp now, and yet still very cool, the iconography of an era. The dress and dances of the hippies come in with Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Shaft, Them Changes, Jungle Boogie, Lady Marmalade, and on to Give Up the Funk and Troop. For I Can Make It Better, If You Love Me, End of the Road, and a reprise of the title song, lighting designer Sean Savoy's Mirror Ball bounces multicolored bundles of light around the Edison Theater. Jim Burwinkle's simple set with a raised inner stage, upstage, is backed with a large screen that I expected to see projections on, but that did have colorful lighting and with something like stacks of amplifiers on either side. It leaves plenty of room for Director Himes' groupings of the cast individually and in varying combinations, and for the choreography of Lizette Rayford. Like the music and the costumes, the dances do show the influence of the popular moves of the times, but Rayford gives them her own personal touch. She asks a lot of her two dancers, Heather Beale and Frankie Watson. They meet every challenge. The impressive strength and muscle control demanded of them only serve the beauty of their movements. The other cast members all have successful careers as musicians and singers, and they bring that command of the material to the songs in Tell Me Something Good. Alicia Rivet, who was so delightful last year in the Black Rep's production of Pearly, brings extra theatrical flair and liveliness to her performance. The other women are Ronnie Gregory, Jennifer Kelly, and Olivia Neal. I always enjoy seeing Herman Gordon in a show with his deep mellifluous voice, his cool command of the stage space, and that smile that suggests how much he's enjoying sharing his pleasure in the music with us. Samuel Huddleston projects a vibe that's similar to Gordon's, while the other two men, Jeffrey Harden and Stephen Williams Jr., have contrasting styles. Tell Me Something Good is not a play, but it's polished entertainment, doing many of the things the Black Rep does so well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, again, this is music we want to hear. So.
So nice, so excitable. Kiss once and smile, and smile.